Hey everyone, ready for another deep dive? We're heading to Tokyo today, specifically Jiyūgaoka.
Jiyugaoka.
Yeah.
You familiar with it?
Well, I know it was known for being like the super fashionable area, kind of a haven for like independent boutiques, you know?
Totally. That's exactly what it was known for.
Yep.
Trendy, chic. But recently, there's been this online chatter saying it's losing its shine. Some are even saying it's over.
Over. Wow. That's pretty dramatic.
Right. So we're going to dig into that, see what's what. Our main source is this article from Business Journal, a Japanese business website. And they actually quote this expert, Tomohiro Makino, from a real estate consulting firm.
Okay, a real estate perspective. That's interesting.
Yeah. So getting into these Jiyugaoka's overclaims, the article talks about complaints of the neighborhood losing its charm. Like people are saying those charming cobblestone streets are now just paved over.
Oh, I see. Losing that unique feel. Yeah, and that unique boutiques are being replaced by, the usual chain stores. Like, picture going to a bookstore and only finding those same bestsellers you see everywhere.
Right. You want something like special, different. You don't travel to find the same old, same old.
Exactly. And on top of that, the article even mentions Sweets Forest.
Sweets Forest. That dessert place.
Yeah, apparently it's deserted even after they tried to revamp it.
Hmm. That's not a good sign.
Really?
Especially for a place known for, well, its trendy food scene. Makes you wonder what else is going on.
Right, and this expert, Tomohiro Makino, he basically says this decline in visitors could indicate a bigger shift.
Okay, so less about Sweets Forest specifically and more about the overall appeal of the area.
Got it. Exactly. And he backs that up by saying the residential data for Jiyugaoka is stable, probably because of the, wealthy neighborhoods around it.
In sense, people still want to live there.
But then he hits us with this. The commercial scene is struggling.
Ah, okay, so there's some weight to those online complaints. It's not just, internet gossip.
Yeah. Right. And then he goes on about how the Tokyu Toyoko line, the train line Jiyugaoka is on, is experiencing some trends that could be like playing a role in all of this.
The train line. Interesting, sometimes those things are more connected than we think.
Yeah, exactly. It's not just about one neighborhood. It's like this whole ecosystem. So he talks about how there's an aging population along the line.
Okay, so that's one factor, older demographics.
And then he mentions how those younger, wealthier folks are like gravitating towards the newer central Tokyo locations like Toyosu.
Toyosu, right, that sleek, modern city center vibe.
Yep.
Huh.
Exactly. And we can't forget about online shopping and like fast fashion. Makes just browsing physical stores less appealing, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially for, younger people, it all adds up.
Totally. It's like all these forces are pushing on Jiyugaoka, a place that was once, the place to be for shopping. It's almost like it's stuck, as Makino puts it, in between.
In between. What does he mean by that?
So he's saying Jiyugaoka isn't super convenient for like office workers to, grab lunch or shop after work.
Right. So not that quick stop after work.
But it also doesn't offer, that spacious kind of living that might attract families to the suburbs.
So not quite city center convenience and not quite suburban space.
Right. It's like stuck in the middle. It makes you wonder if being in between could actually be an opportunity, though.
That's an interesting thought. Like, could it attract those who want that balance between the city buzz and, the peace of the suburbs?
Exactly. It's something to think about. But it definitely seems like Jiyugaoka is, like, facing this uphill battle right now.
Yeah, it does sound that way. But you know what else is interesting? Makino brought up Daikanyama.
Daikanyama, another formerly trendy spot.
Exactly. And its decline is often linked to, well, the Tokyo Toyoko line's connection to the Tokyo Metro.
Right. Because it means shoppers can just bypass Daikanyama entirely and go straight for those high-end department stores in other parts of the city.
Exactly. It makes you wonder if Jiyugaoka's location on the line, with easy access to the city center, is, working against it in a similar way.
Yeah, becoming a bypass zone, especially for those wanting those like high-end shopping experiences.
Definitely a possibility. And with all these trends kind of working against Jiyugaoka, it really raises the question, can it adapt? Can it reinvent itself?
That's the million-dollar question. We'll get into that a bit later. But first, let's zoom out and look at these bigger trends affecting Jiyugaoka and maybe even, places closer to home. It really makes you think, about those places we've seen change. Maybe that cool little spot in our own city that's like lost its magic a bit. Have you ever seen that happen?
Oh, totally. I think what's fascinating about Jiyugaoka is that it's not just one place,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's like we're seeing these bigger forces at play. The way cities change, demographics, how we shop, it's all connected.
Yeah, it's like change is the only constant.
Yeah,
But in Jiyugaoka's case, if redevelopment isn't really an option, what can they even do? How do you stay relevant when everything around you is shifting?
right. That's the big question. The article doesn't exactly offer, like, solutions, but it does get you thinking. Like, could Jiyugaoka focus on that stable residential community it has? Maybe attract more families.
Oh, interesting. So kind of like playing to its strengths instead of chasing a trend that's maybe fading. Like when a friend goes through a big change and reinvents themselves, finds a new path.
Exactly. It's about adapting and, like, writing a new chapter. And to be fair, the article does mention that Jiyugaoka still has those loyal fans, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Those people who really get it, who love its unique character.
Exactly. And I think that's key for any place to succeed in the long run, having that core group who values what makes it special.
It reminds me of like those indie bands. They might not be mainstream, but they have this dedicated fan base that keeps them going. That connection is what matters.
Love that analogy. It's
Yeah.
that sense of community. It's about more than just, what's trendy at the moment.
So maybe instead of asking, is Jiyugaoka over, Wes, we should be asking, what's next? How can it evolve but still stay true to itself?
Right. It's something for the residents, businesses, and city planners to figure out together. It's a team effort.
And thinking about Jiyugaoka, it makes you realize this is happening all over the world, right? Neighborhoods facing these same challenges, it's global.
It really is. The way we live in cities is changing constantly. Urbanization, globalization, technology, it all has an impact.
So, what can we learn from Jiyugaoka? What's the takeaway from all this?
I think it's a reminder that change is inevitable. Even those places known for being trendy, adaptability, community, being open to new possibilities, those are so important.
It also makes you wonder about other places that seem, over. Maybe they're actually on the verge of something new and exciting.
Exactly. It's like, stay curious, look deeper. You never know what you might find.
Staying curious, right? That's like the key to, well, everything, isn't it?
It really is. When we're curious, we're open to new things, new experiences, new ideas. We can see potential where others might not.
And who knows, maybe those unexpected detours, the ones we take because we're curious, those lead to the most amazing discoveries. Maybe Jiyugaoka will find its groove, become even more vibrant, even more authentic.
That's what's so cool about cities, right? They're always changing, always full of surprises.
And thinking about all this, it makes me think we should all be paying attention to those little changes happening around us. In our own towns, our own neighborhoods, what's changing? What's staying the same? It tells a story, doesn't it?
It does. Like, the best stories aren't always about things staying the same. They're about things that change, that transform, that have the courage to become something new.
That's a great way to put it. And on that note, we'll leave you to think about Jiyugaoka and what its future might hold. And maybe even your own neighborhood. What could be its next chapter? Until next time, everyone, stay curious out there.